What's up, Star Wars fans? Thought I'd do a quick review of the 40th anniversary Wave 1 Black Series figures. I got these online from Star Action Figures. I ordered the whole lot. I do have the original releases of all of these, but I am a sucker for the vintage style packaging. I'm actually really glad that the Black Series didn't start off in this packaging, because I think it'd be really hard to just buy them to keep on card. The figures are so good out of the package, the Black Series, that I think I'd have been buying 2 of everything, which would have been a real nightmare. So I'm quite glad about that. I like the fact at the moment with the boxes, you can take them out, you can put them back in the boxes. But these do look good. When they were first announced, I was like, yeah, I don't need to get these. But once you've got them in hand, it's like, yeah, they're a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. So let's start off by looking at the first one. So obviously with Carrie Fisher passing away back in December, this feels like a tribute to her almost. It's an absolute fantastic card back. The image is fantastic. The new likeness with the new head sculpt is light years ahead of the old one, mainly around the eyes. It's not as different as perhaps you first think. I've actually got the other one here. If we compare the two, it's really the space in between the eyes is the main difference. But it's, undeniably better, and it sort of takes it from like a 5 or 6 out of 10 to like a 8 or 9. It was always a great figure. For the rest, the body and the soft goods were always great. I really had no problems with this figure, really, other than the lightness. But now it's on a vintage card. It's like pretty much the best Princess Leia figure you can get. Then we got Luke. This figure took a lot of a bashing when it first came out. People really didn't like it. Didn't help it came out around the same time as the SH Figure Arts figure. This one is pretty much the same as my first release one, which I do have here, but the eyes are painted quite differently. This one is like stoned Luke, and this one is like, I don't know, his eyes are a bit further apart. Took me a little bit getting used to, but it's actually probably a better paint job. And I'm pretty sure his tunic, although you can't really see it here, the original one, this is like a whiter tunic. It seems to be slightly more dusty looking on this vintage style card. The image is fantastic, because obviously it's Luke looking at the twin sons of Tatooine, which is pretty much my favourite moment of Star Wars overall. Just the emotion of it. I like the figure. I think it's good. Yes, the SH Figure Arts one has a better lightness, but this is an action figure. It feels more action figure-y, feels more robust. I've had lots of SH Figure Arts fall apart on me. It's good. It's a good figure. Not the best Luke. I'd probably say the best Luke possibly is the Bespin one, which I really liked. But it's a good figure. I've got no problem with it. The standout of the 5 for me is Obi Wan Kenobi. The card back looks the best in this format, where they've had to rejig the positioning slightly. This one looks good. This one looks pretty good. Obi-Wan looks great. It's got his yellow lightsaber in the background. The lightness is phenomenal. It's probably one of the best Black Series figures for a human character. I've got the original one here that I got from Celebration last year, around that time. Very similar, a bit more blue on the eyes this time. The cape and everything looks exactly the same. I did see on Facebook, Steve Evans said something about the sleeve lengths now being longer on the new one. They look about the same to me. This is a 10 out of 10 figure for me. And then we got Han Solo. Probably the most similar to my original release. I was never 100% happy with the eyes on this one that I got. I've seen better ones in the wild. The new one's better, but he's slightly looking off. It's not 100%. It's a shame. It's probably my favourite character, but it's good enough. Again, I've got the SH Figure Arts one. It probably does blow this out of the water, but only really in the facial department, and that's not perfect. The SH Figure Arts one is not perfect. But this is a great figure. This is one of the earliest releases in Black Series, so you get 2 weapons, 2 belts, spare pair of hands. They went all out on the accessories early on. They've cut back a lot in recent times. It's a good figure, solid figure. They just struggle a bit with human likenesses. And then R2-D2, which looks the weirdest on the new card because there's just too much space here. They probably should have done something about it, but it looks good enough. I've got my original R2 here. His little blue panels obviously in the box somewhere. I've seem to have mislaid that right now. The only thing I would say is different is the paint job was slightly sloppy on this original one. And you can't quite see it there. I don't know if I can focus any better, but just around the eye, it was like there we can see slightly sloppy paint work. And this new one is 100% crisp with a brighter red light on R2 as well. And again, one of the first figures critically bashed when it came out as being too short, and this was the peg warmer of Wave 1, which no one would quite believe now, but I liked it from day one. I thought it was a good figure, but it is slightly short in scale, but it comes with a lot of accessories. I always thought it was a good figure. If you put the 5 together now, I've got no complaints. They're pretty much perfect. Really looking forward to getting the rest of them. Got R5-D4 in order. I've got the Vader, which just looks phenomenal. And yeah, and the rest of them coming along. Obviously a Tusken Raider and the Jawa and the Death Squad Commander. Definitely highly anticipated. So I hope we get some more of these. I'd love to see the Ewoks updated. I think they would look cool. Yeah, I don't know if we're going to get all of them, but hopefully I think the rumours are that we might get the first 21, which would be pretty cool. So yeah, there's the card back. Looking forward to getting the stand with Vader so I can do this stuff. I mean, worth pointing out that I was born in 77, so I didn't see the original Star Wars. I actually saw Star Wars for the first time with back-to-back with Empire Strikes Back when that came out. So I saw the 2 films for the first time together. But I never bought any of these figures when they first come out. I would have been too young. So the Jedi figures are pretty much the ones that I remember getting a lot of. Some of the other ones as well. Certainly some Empire ones. So this is kind of the first time me getting these on these card backs. They don't hold much nostalgia in terms of these particular pictures that are on here. Because I would have just had all my brother's hand-me-downs for these figures. I think it would be nice in a way to do different images from the original films as card backs, but I guess you know if you change anything, people question it. Certainly with the sort of space they've got here, they could have probably used better images to fill that space out. But you got to get these. It's not really an option. These are going to stay on the card. As I say, I've got all my originals. I will probably pick up a second Carrie Fisher with a new head when it comes out in the standard box format, so that I can display that one. But I'm happy with all of these other ones. I don't need to get a third. So yeah, go ahead, pick them up, and let me know what you think.